not to fall off my chair because that's what I'm doing.
You gotta stay balanced in this energy right now. We've got a super moon coming in.
I know. I feel it. It's beautiful. I love it. So, hi, Mandee. How are you?
Hi, Crystal. I am good. I'm excited. I'm honored to hold some Tuesday soul space with you. Typically, we do Mondays, but this week we're doing Tuesday. And you know what? It's summertime and things are going to be a little different. So we just got to roll with it. We're having our first Live Well AC Farmers Market of the summer tonight. We've got a 4 farmer market series coming up, and each one there's over 20 vendors. Free yoga that's provided by the Leadership Studio, and then also Drum Circle by Cassius Kirk. So I'm super excited. Hi, Sophia. Yes, I love that you're here right now, and I love this lunchtime hour. I think it might end up working out well for us. So we're experimenting with it a bit. So we've got lots of exciting things happening and welcoming in this summer season. What's going on in your world, Crystal?
Absolutely nothing. Still the same old stuff. I'm just living right now and trying to figure things out, going with the flow myself. I'm like, hey, Spirit's giving me lesson after lesson, and I'm taking it. I'm doing it.
You're doing it. And you're
like we talked about.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, that's a special lesson, but also I feel like it's almost humorous. I don't know if you've experienced that. Hi, Kate. I don't know if you've experienced that in some of your growth. Like you would think that it'd be like hard for you to receive some of the stuff, but at that point, it's almost like it hits you like a ton of bricks and you're like, oh, all right. And then it's almost like pure elation on the inside when you finally receive it. And it's like, woo, small celebrations for yourself.
Yes, exactly. I actually love that because, and it's a really good topic to bring up because so many people, like, we try to force spirit, right? And we want to get the lessons, we want to get the signs, we don't understand why we don't get it. But there is this beautiful thing to divine timing. So like for me personally in my journey, I've come to realize like, yeah, I get like such a privilege and consciousness in so many things. But when it comes down to it, I'm still just Mandee the human in this lifetime. And I have to trust the divine timing of when things are going to be revealed to me. And that's one of my favorite affirmations. I learned it from Louise Hay. That which I need to know will be revealed. And it takes off the pressure. And the way I see it, like when our souls come in and we're doing our little journey and we're in our magical little boxes, we have to float around in certain spaces, if you will. Think of like maybe like a glass cube, and we're like learning all the things in this, and we're ready to get out of that ceiling, but it's not quite time yet, and we're kind of hitting the wall. And then all of a sudden something will happen in our life, and we'll have this paradigm shifting moment, and this experience will come in, and we'll be like, woof, all of a sudden that glass door opens, we receive the lesson, we're like, why didn't I get this before? Like, I don't understand. And it's because there was divine timing to your own life, to your own consciousness, that you weren't meant to receive it until that exact time. And this could be for protection. This could be for consciousness. This could be for growth. This could be for someone else. There's so many things that are unknown, but this is where we get the opportunity to trust more. And it's so those sliding door moments, if you will, in those kind of glass ceiling moments, that's like the juiciness of when we get to have grace and patience with ourselves, and even an invitation to become more present.
Exactly. That's actually part of the lesson as a whole. That, like I said, Crystal kind of had this epiphany after a soul session with the sea goddesses, and in this we kind of talk to each other and we tell about certain aspects of our lives depending on a topic. And I learned in that moment, Crystal really needed to love herself. Like, I really need to give myself back what I give to other people. And so I was remembering, how I would meet Corey as an infant or as a baby or as he was growing, and like, oh my gosh, you are so smart. Like, you can do whatever. This is the best drawing ever. And I just want you to know that I absolutely love it. And I just think you are super talented. And so I'm giving myself back that same exact thing. Like, I'm looking at certain aspects and I'm like, you know what, Crystal, you showed up for yourself today. Thank you so very much for honoring you and being here for you, because we really forget. It's almost like once we turn 18 and we have these different things play into our brain and we think we're an adult, it's almost like we get further and further away from that nurturing and that love that we need for ourselves, and almost are adherent to it because, no, I don't need anything, or I don't need this because, soul's been messed along the way, so we ain't got time for nothing. But then all of a sudden, you have this weird epiphany and things start happening, or if you're on a spiritual journey, a self journey, a healing journey, whatever it may be for you, then you start to see things in a different way, and you start to realize just how much you do need. And you start to replay that or give that back to yourself. And then that snow globe becomes a little clearer. That snow starts to kind of settle at the bottom, and you're able to go to that glass globe and see through to some of the lessons that the lessons have been over the past 4 years that you've said thank you along the way to. I don't understand today, but I hope and I pray that you show me whatever this is. And that's what I really try to also tell people, like, hey, man, you'll get the answer to whatever it is that you're asking, but sometimes it takes a couple weeks, sometimes it takes a couple years, sometimes you probably will get it on your deathbed, but it will always come to you, and you have to have that patience to let it be natural, because if you try to push it and you try to speed past it, it's going to keep coming back because you're going to miss something. And so sometimes we have to go back and we have to redo and we have to restart and we have to relearn. And that's very frustrating. I've been there for the last 3.5, 4 years.
Hence coming back lifetime after lifetime.
But it's beautiful in the end when you start to see some of that visibility. And I'm starting to see some of that visibility, and it feels really fucking good. Excuse my French to everybody who doesn't like F-bombs.
I like F-bombs.
I'm going to say hello, Kate, because she said she just came across the channel. So I've liked and subscribed. I don't know whose you did, but we have Spirit Speaks with Mitten Medium, and we also have Sea Goddess Healing Arts. So if you could kind of like and share both of those, that would be absolutely beautiful. And Kate, if you're new, Mandee will be doing some cards. So if you have any like questions or something like that that you would like to ask, you can go ahead and ask those questions. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Heather. I love that she says hi to everybody. She's the best. Sophia says, self-love was my intention for an in-person Reiki session I had last week. Super powerful. Crystal, you posted an awesome tweet for Dr. Nicole.
I know exactly which one she's talking about.
That was so on point and healing. It was about people who point the finger at others. Mandee talked about that same thing at our session. I love the full circle I got with the message from everyone. Awesome. I don't remember what I post. I post a lot of weird stuff sometimes, so I forget about it, but thank you.
I'll find it. We can reshare it because it was a really potent one, and it really brought a lot of things into perspective. And I'm really glad that it found you, Sophia, and served you, because it was a good one. And if you guys aren't familiar with Dr. Nicole Lepera, she wrote How to Do the Work. She's known as the holistic psychologist. She's been doing her own work and journey this whole time, and really has evolved as a human and been able to share a lot of those lessons with all of us in order to ascend on our journeys and just have just much more healthier mental awareness within ourselves and our families and our communities. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You guys are all here right now.
I know. I was like, hi, Heather. And she says Heather starts a new job on 7/25. Let's give it up for Heather. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Sending abundant vibes. Way to go.
Susan is here, and she says, am I supposed to be looking for love right now? I am self-healing. And I'm just going to say she can pull a card, but Spirit's like, hell no. You shouldn't be looking. And I'm going to tell you they're doing this. They're doing air quotes, Susan, looking for love. You should be manifesting what you want, because what they're doing is they're giving to me internally inside of you, your heart space. You're a very powerful, beautiful person. I think you've been through some things. You got some roller coaster rides, some ups and downs that you have experienced, obviously, is why you're self-healing. Dirt to dirt, no validation there. But they're making me feel like some of these big ups and downs took place, and it's almost like it took almost away who you were as a human being and made you misunderstand who you were to your core. And so right now what you're doing is you're relearning who you are, what you want, what your needs are from this place in your life, because you've kind of sat that self aside for so long for other people that you weren't able to show up for yourself. And so what they're doing is they're making me feel like if we want to know the truth about what you're going to receive and how to receive it the correct way, what does love look like to you? What does it feel like to you? What does it smell like to you? Taste like to you? What is love? What is companionship? What is a good friendship with somebody? Write all of those things down. And then put it together. Do not think at all about the things you don't want in a relationship or a human being. Only think about the things that you are yearning for to fill your space in the way that will help equal you in this world or bring companionship to you in some form or fashion. And then you take all those things, you rewrite it a couple times, because we'll look back on it and be like, well, I feel like this is more mental health than anything else, and I got mental health there. So we don't want to muck it up with too much stuff. You write that down. Thank the universe, God, flying spaghetti monster, whatever you believe in, for bringing this into your existence and saying, this is my perfect partner. And I thank you for providing this perfect partner for me and giving them the space to create that. And thank them also for helping you heal in your journey along the way and giving you the clarity to help heal those things in you that maybe are offsetting you in some of those relationship fields. Okay. And so if you do that and you give all that power, not only back to yourself and creation and knowing you're creating something amazing and perfect, and then also give spirit the ability to step in, intervene, and kind of take control in some of those aspects, you're going to start to see doors unfold for you. And I think it's probably only going to be about 1.5 to 2 years before somebody pops into your life. So please just pay attention, keep your boundaries, and pay really close attention to those red flags that you receive from others.
I love that. And I would love to add in and just pull Susan a couple cards, because it's a perfect segue into our Tarot Tuesday. We're pulling tarot cards and oracle cards and answering any kind of questions that you're interested in while we're holding space together right now. And Susan, like, it's so cool that you're on your path. Like, that is the best thing. And truly, like, we want to become the love we want to receive. So the best thing you can do right now is to love yourself, to romance yourself, to find out, like, what do I even want in a relationship? And can I give myself those things first and foremost? And am I the person that I want to be for my dream partner? And what does that look like? And how does that intertwine? And what happens is we end up co-creating and manifesting and attracts like a little bit there. And then we really start to call in someone who's on our page and in our vibration and in our caliber. So I'm going to pull you just a few tarot cards. What's Susan's summer look like? This is great. So you get the Queen of Wands first for your first month of summer. The Queen of Wands. Wands are all about internal things going on, whether that's internal growth or conflict or health or wisdom. Wands have to do with all of our internal things. So what you decided to do was take some time and some space to do some healing and to be there for yourself and to level up really into the next version of who you are and what you want out of your life. And your angels, they're just nodding and they're clapping and they're very proud of you for making these decisions, because it wasn't easy, but they're also showing you're really starting to find some more peace and reap the rewards of all your decisions. And they're proud of you for that. So just know that you are meant to be in control right now as the Queen of Wands of your inner domain, and really choosing what's best for you on all levels, whether that's, nutritionally or physically or mentally or spiritually, you are in that domain. Then moving into August time, we get the 8 of Cups, which is typically cups are all about love and relationships, abundance, matters of the heart. This looks like maybe a family vacation of some sort or with friends, a little getaway with people that you love in order to fill your cup and to make you feel like super happy and exciting. You might have plans for that already, but if you don't, the angels really encourage you to spend some quality time with people you love and having like a really fun thing that'll fill your cup this summer, whether that's like a vacation or a day away or just quality time or a Zoom date. It's really important to fill that cup with people who you do love and appreciate in your circle already. You've got some really great people in your circle and you've got new ones coming. And then last but not least, in September, you end with the Ace of Wands. You really feel like you mastered a lot this summer within yourself and you're ready to jump into the next thing. So it's really important to just tune into yourself at the end of summer, find out what's falling away and what's rising in you. I see a lot of creative activity coming up. So it's really important to just let yourself dive in to what your heart is calling most. So hopefully that helps and supports you on your journey, Susan. And we're super grateful that you're here with us.
She's validating. She says that, thank you. I just got back from the dead and left my home and everything in it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at that. It was just the way the words came out. I'm sorry.
That feeling, sister. I honor that. That is a sacred initiation and you need it for a reason.
Yes. Crystal, and thank you so very much. You guys are right on. I'm 52, never married. I'm so alone, literally alone, and really, really tired. Go, Mandy, go, is what Jennifer said. She says, when you talked about making changes, she said she's living holistically now. Thank you so much. And that was a huge change. And she says, yes, self-love sucks. Please. I'm laughing. Also, Susan, if you do not exactly know, what manifestation process looks like and you want to know it like through my perspective, you can send me an email. Just be like, hey, I'm Susan, you talk to me on your live, and I'll shoot you my paperwork, because in my paperwork it kind of has sample manifestations in it. So if you would like, you can do that, and that is midmittenmedium@yahoo.com. And so we also have Jennifer here. We have Monica. Hello, Monica. Monica, sorry. We have Ben. Hello, husband. I'm happy that you get to listen to me at work. He's my husband. Kate says, gotcha.
I think that Ben's comment is also amazing. He said, manifestation works. I can honestly say that God brought my dream partner to me after I spent several nights going over in my head everything I wanted in a woman. And Crystal is all that and more. So there we go. We've got some inspiration from a divine masculine saying that it's true. And I can vouch for Crystal that she truly loves Ben. So that's pretty cool.
And also, I manifested him. I actually wish I still had the manifestation that I wrote while I was with my husband at the time. And it was funny because we were married only for 4 years. A year into this, well, actually, the day after I knew I made a mistake, I was like, Crystal, come on, girl, why? But a year into this, I was like, he is not my Mr. Forever. He's my Mr. Right Now. I thank you for teaching me what I need to know about relationships so I don't recycle these patterns and keep on, because this sucks, guys. I'm better than this. And then I was like, okay, sit with yourself. And I did put down manifestations of what I want. And that's exactly what I got. And it is crazy how it works. But I got to tell you, when you really believe in something and you really put it out there, they do bring it back to you. They do bring it back to you. And he is a wonderful person. And all I can really ask for is somebody that works with me in life instead of like against me. And Ben works with me. So that's a plus. He's also cute and has great sense of humor. But that's besides the point.
I love it. And it's inspiring for all of us. And I'm 36 and single right now. And like, I love it. I'm grateful for all of my relationships, all of the things I've learned. And I'm in that kind of like holding space for myself and really focusing on my career and the things that bring me joy and healing my body. And when the divine timing is right, like it'll happen. And it's okay to like hold our space and romance ourselves for a while and really like be brave enough to know what we want and deserve and wait for that and attract it. So thank you both, Crystal and Ben, for sharing that and holding the space for all of us as you held the space for yourselves for a long time.
So we also have Kate. She says, gotcha. This is Kate, the newbie who just come across us. She's liked both of us. But she says, gotcha. I've got no specific questions, but a general message would be greatly appreciated. So Miss Mandee, you want to pull a card for her?
I do. I'm trying to see our comments, but it froze on my side. But I think I can see it. So I'm going to jump in over there. But absolutely. So since it's Tarot Tuesday, let's pull some cards for Kate. What does Kate's summer season look like? Ooh. Lovely. You have a lovely summer coming up right now too, Kate. They're showing the start of summer is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is internal bliss, because we talked about how wands are all internal stuff. Things that make us feel whole and loved and happy. This is spending time with sisters, soul sisters, friends, yourself, maybe doing things like arts and crafts or things that bring you joy, or just like meditating by the water. It's simple things that bring calm and peace and help you feel like your heart is full because of the choices that you are making in order to fill your cup. So the Four of Wands is all about that. It's usually very blissful. These are like two fairies hanging out, enjoying their energy. So just know that that's the energy you're inviting in this first month of summer. And then moving into the next month, we've got in August, we've got the Nine of Cups, which is feeling really full in our hearts and in our home space and in our world, and being like, okay, the decisions I've made are good. I've got a lot of love going on within myself, within my own relationships, and I feel like they're all really stable and really grounded right now. And that's a really nice place to be. It hasn't always been that way for you, Kate, and you've worked really hard to maintain that. So it's important that you enjoy that and kind of reap that reward of letting July just be like full of love, or August really too, full of love and abundance, and reaping the rewards. And then they're showing in September, it's focusing a little bit more on work again. Pentacles are all about financial security, our root chakra, really, the things that make us feel safe and stable and at home. And what they're showing is that things are going well with you career-wise, like money-wise, things are good. And that you actually have an opportunity to maybe go for a promotion or start a little side business or add some things in that feel in alignment for you at this time. And they don't want you to worry about anything financially. So overall, like, this is a really nice summer spread. You've got a lot of like warm heart energy coming. Your cup is overflowing. You're going to be able to foster relationships that are important and sacred to you. We're all coming out of this crazy COVID chapter, and a lot of us had to spend time separate, and now we're getting to reconnect again. So there's a lot of that beautiful energy and wonderful abundance coming your way in choices. And this is also the herbal deck, and it is reaching out to me to mention to you that ginger is paired with the Eight of Pentacles, and ginger can be really soothing for so many things, maybe within your own body, and for people out there who are listening. It's great for help, like an amazing anti-inflammatory. It's incredible for helping to calm your stomach, to ease your nerves, to center yourselves, and also to get a little inspiration in your solar plexus and tune up a little bit of that energy that's coming in. So I hope that helps and supports you, Kate, and I'm so excited you're here and holding space with us.
Sophia says, tomorrow is a full moon and my daughter's 5th birthday. Any mama advice from the cards or spirits?
Yes. So I wanted to talk about the full moon. So that's so exciting. Happy birthday to your 5-year-old. That's so cool. And it's a really cool, I wish Ursula was on with us because she's probably got a lot more to add, but this is a full moon in Capricorn. And like about 6 months ago or so, we taught a whole Mercury retrograde class on, I think it was Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde in Capricorn. And Capricorn is very much that Mary Poppins energy. And in this case, it's like, you want to have fun and games, but you have to do it in like a nice and disciplined way in order for things to transpire in your life the way that you're wanting or needing it to, and without creating too much like harm or stress. And so this, I was looking up some research earlier on this full moon, and this is all about taking responsibilities for our lives and how we're going in that direction. So if you think about it, when Mary Poppins comes in, she just comes in and cleans up, and she does it in a nice way to help everyone to get back on track. So it's a little bit of that tough love kind of energy with this full moon. And it's also very emotional at the same time. But what it's really calling out in people is kind of some radical responsibility. Okay, you know what? I really need to get on my juice cleanse. I really need to do my yoga. I want to actually save money this summer, and like, let me see what I can do. Let me make sure I get my beach time, my nature time. Make sure I get my sun or my vacations or whatever it is. This is the time, this full moon, where we're releasing the things that really aren't serving us or are getting in our way of accomplishing our goals. And so it comes with a really powerful shift of a massive release right now, right into action steps in order to get to business, to co-create what it is we really want. So that's the overview of what's going on with the moon. And then for Sophia, let's see. What was Sophia's comment or question?
She said that tomorrow is a full moon and also her daughter's 5th birthday. And she was wondering if there was any mama advice from Spirit or the cards.
What I needed to hear. Okay. So Sophia, let's see. Mama advice for Sophia. This is exciting. Okay. So this looks a little scary. Don't let it scare you. This is actually one of my favorite cards to teach about too. So I pulled on this situation for some mama advice and how to handle the birthday and all the energy that comes with it. The first thing that comes up is the 10 of Swords, the final onslaught. So this looks scary, but it's actually showing that all the trauma drama is behind you, that the battle is over, the blood has been shed, things are becoming pure again, and that you can move into this situation with an open heart and with helping yourself know that you made all the right decisions that are best for you. And this could have to do with, some trauma drama with family, things like that always come around with birthdays. This could have to do with wanting to have, certain boundaries and just celebrate with your daughter and your family, whatever that is. But just know that the drama is over and things are going to be peaceful, because then you get rewarded right with the 10 of Cups. And this is even paired with cannabis and rainbows and happiness and overflowing. It sounds like you really honor this birthday, this last 5 years of growth that you have gone through internally as a mom, as a woman, what you've been able to witness in your daughter and yourself mostly. And so it's a time to really celebrate how much you've learned, how far you've come, and what kind of boundaries you've instilled in yourself, as well as love and self-love, and what you're allowing yourself to give yourself at this time and allow yourself to receive from yourself. And then they're also showing with the birthday, the Page of Pentacles, plenty of like money and things to do stuff with. So don't worry about that. And they're showing like quality time creating. So I don't know if that's like a pottery party or arts and crafts or going, planting flowers in the backyard or whatever it is. But they're just showing you guys really spending quality time and having fun together and letting yourself enjoy it. And don't worry about finances or anything like that, because there's plenty for what you guys want to do to celebrate. So I hope that helps.
I want to really quick. I'm trying to go down to comments just to make sure that we don't have weirdos on there like we do sometimes. And Sophia did say, look at those 10s. I'm so glad. I was feeling horrible for not having certain family there for her birthday, but this shows me all is good.
That's exactly okay. So thank you for commenting that, because that's exactly what that means. Hard boundaries, final trauma drama onslaught over, and then big massive celebration because of those decisions. So thank you for sharing that with us, because this is truly the work that we're all showing up to do right now.
And I wanted to kind of, as I was going down, I saw this and it was important, so I wanted to get to it. It says, Crystal, I know you said start to heal from my past. I'm having such a hard time. I just can't seem to realize that it is not all my fault with what is going on in my head from when I was a kid. And I thought that that was a little too important to kind of just sit onto the wayside until we got to it. Because that's kind of some of the stuff that we talk about. And that's specifically kind of what some of the energy is of what's kind of breaking up for us right now. And so Mandee and I talk a lot about different things. And in your particular situation, I don't know your actual problem. I would suggest, and I really love this woman. She had talked about, I can't remember her name, Dr. Laura LaPera. And on Facebook or anywhere else, you can find her, and she is the holistic psychologist, psychiatrist.
Do you remember what? Psychologist, Dr.
Thank you. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is because she does a really good job. Like, this is a certified health physician, mental health physician, telling you certain things based on spiritual aspects of growth, healing, understanding. And she puts out some amazing posts and amazing shorts. If you get onto like Instagram or something like that, she puts out the cutest things that kind of give the depiction based off from traumas, dramas, and things that our loved ones kind of try to instill in us that we really have a hard time letting go of. And does it mean that we need to like hate them? Absolutely not, because they have their own traumas and dramas that they experience that cause these things in these old school ways of thinking in life. But as I see, I'm going to just take a shot in the dark here and say that I see you almost as like the black sheep of the family, okay? And some people look at the black sheep as like the bad one, okay? Well, what makes them bad? It means they're different. The way they think is different. The way they feel is different. The way they perceive life is very different. It doesn't make them bad. Misunderstood maybe, but not bad. And I feel like you've kind of been in a situation over and over again, because you're kind of hopping me into different situations that you probably have been made to feel like you were at fault. It could have been manipulation. It could have been gaslighting. It could have been a multitude of things. At the end of the day, that doesn't really necessarily matter. What matters is how those things made you feel in your life, and what did they do to the lens in your trauma zone that made you see life the way you see it today, which is taking fault for everything around you. We are never at fault for everything around us. In a relationship scenario, there's always a 50-50 because there's two people involved. And then actually, I'm going to say not even that. I'm going to say almost probably like, give or take 10% of that, because there's always that in the middle perspective on what really takes place. Because just because somebody says something this way or does something this way doesn't necessarily mean that it has anything to do with us. It's how we perceive it in our life. And so if you take the things that have happened and you take the things that have kind of unraveled around you and you re-look at those situations, scenarios, conversations, events, things that have happened as a whole, own what you can own, but also understand what was projection from that person based on their fears, their traumas, their issues, their hurts, their faults that they maybe didn't want to answer for in those moments. Because we can't be responsible for other people's problems. We can only be responsible for what we ourselves do in situations. And so if you're struggling with that moving forward, I would kind of try to find ways outside of yourself to maybe see. And I do think professionals are a good one in this. And I say that because they work hand in hand, some of them very well with spirit. You can get on YouTube, you can find people all over the place that you don't have to pay for that will help you understand healing and the layers that it needs to come into. Okay. Because I do believe there's been a fair amount of like situational stuff that took place in your life that caused you to see through that scope. And I don't think that that's accurate. I don't think you're at fault for a lot of those things. Okay. Also, do it this way. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here also based on what they're giving to me, and they're making me feel as though you have a lot of different autoimmune processes taking place in your body right now. And actually, when I see this, I usually see it in the form of like trauma through empathic abilities, kind of like whatever. They all come into our gut systems. We kind of house them there because mental emotional trauma can get stuck in our body too. And that creates some of the disease that we have going on inside of ourselves. But they're not making me feel like it's just this. They're actually making me feel like you have a hard time absorbing nutrients. They are making me feel like there is almost like this process where you have like leaky gut. Thank you. They're making me feel like you have like this leaky gut syndrome or system taking place right now, where it's almost like your body's getting rid of the nutrients and it's going into different places. And so you might also want to look into that and get your vitamin levels tested and maybe see if you have good God Almighty. I'm sorry. I'm not a medical professional. I can only give you what they're presenting to me, and I have no clue what they're talking about. Please Google this. They're making me feel like there's an actual like trait or something that a person can have that keeps them from being able to absorb different nutrients. And they're making me feel like that's a simple blood test. So how they're presenting this to me is they're making me feel like you should see your doctor. You should talk to your doctor about some of these ways that you're feeling also. Some of these like exhaustions, your stomach aches, your bloating. Talk to them about some of these things too, and maybe see like a rheumatologist or an autoimmune specialist or something along those lines and talk to them, because they're really making me feel like these actually are health related and also trauma related, and they kind of just keep bouncing back and forth because your health isn't where it needs to be, because you're not being able to absorb properly and get those nutrients to give us that balance in our mental, emotional physicalities. But then you also have these very real emotional, mental traumas that have taken place in your life that have just kind of caused you this ping pong syndrome. It's just going back and forth, and it's like getting reckless right now. They're making me feel like you have every right to feel the way you do. Okay. This is not them picking on you. Like they're sorry you're going through it, but they're also raising you up in their hands, which means to me that they are really, really proud of the steps that you're taking, because your health journey hasn't been easy for you. This has been very confusing, and I feel like you're very frustrated with your health journey. Okay. So just know that you're doing a good job, but at the same time, I think there's more going on here that you should probably look into with your doctors.
And my favorite resource for that, as well as Louise, You Can Heal Your Life, is Anthony Williams, medical medium. This helped me heal all of my autoimmune. I had really bad IBS. and all kinds of gastric issues. I started doing celery juice. Not everyone can do that, but it worked really well for me every morning to change all of that. So I just know that there's a lot of things that we can just start eating and thinking about that help us to heal too while we're doing all of this. So sending you a lot of love out there. And for anybody who's, frustrated with autoimmune or anything like that, I encourage you to check out the medical medium because it certainly helped me on my path.
I'm sorry, I was reading the one above this. Terry, I hope that helped you. And once again, please take what I said with a grain of salt. Google and see your doctor. If you do, you said you do have a doctor. So good. I'm happy. And I hope that all helps and maybe puts it into perspective a little bit. But at the same time, you do have a team working out for you. Jennifer says, hey, Midge, question. I found an old marble a few weeks back. Looking into it, it could mean someone is trying to speak to me from the other side. Did I happen to bring anyone to you today? I'm going to tell you that I actually don't think that marble has anything to do with spirit messages. What they're doing is they're presenting it almost, it's kind of like an, I don't know if you like the naturey aspects of things, but they're giving me crows / ravens, that type of blackbird around you. And when they present that to me, it means the universe is giving you a gift and it's letting you know that it trusts you. Like you're here with them, they see the growth, they see the changes, they see the things that are taking place. And so just like crows really like those gifts, and that helps build trust around them because crows are really scatterbrained. And they're really like apprehensive around people specifically. And if you leave things out in the same place for them, they're making me feel like that's kind of essentially what it is. It's your shamanism or your I don't want to say this because I don't know your background, but I am going to say that I feel like you have a very native type setting inside of yourself in the sense that there's something inside of you that is very attached to the earth spirits. And so this might be one of your new totems coming in. This might be one of your new spirit animals coming in, and they're trying to build trust with you is how they're presenting it to me. So is it a message from somebody that you know and love? Not necessarily, but is it a message? Yes. And the message is that they trust you just as much as you're learning to trust them, and that they thank you for showing up because it's showing to them that you're showing up. And things may not be a little good right now. I feel like you're stuck in a couple areas, but those areas are going to start clearing out pretty good for you. So just have faith in yourself, have faith in the work that you've done, and understand that they're there, even though right now I feel like it might feel like they're on a hiatus. It's not that they're not there. It's not that they're not giving you these messages. It's that they're doing a lot of work right now. And it's almost like they don't have time to keep their appointments with you to check in on a daily basis. So just know that they're there. And the marble was a bigger representation of the message as a whole, which is we're giving you gifts every single day and we see the work you're doing. So we just want you to know that we trust you too. Okay.
I love that. I want to pull a couple cards for Jen too. And it's also true. And I really was feeling all the similar things that you brought down in that message. And I just want to add in, since, we're talking about it, a couple angel and ancestor cards for Jen. So Jen got the sun, enjoy success and happiness. You've been working so hard on your solar plexus chakra, on coming in. Jen's one of our sea goddesses now. She's an incredible sound healer and veteran of our country. It's really helped her to heal her own PTSD and a lot of things within her body. And then she's also just growing and learning in so many ways right now and so in tune with spirit. So it's so cool that you got that gift. And it's so interesting because I see that in a lot of past lives. There were many of us who were like raven trainers and would send messages along ley lines and things. And Jen, you were one of them too. So it makes sense for you to be connecting with that. Then you got the Lord, take charge with authority. This is just about having confidence in yourself, knowing that everything is happening for you at this time, and to own it and really let your life unfold and let all of your gifts come in and say, you know what, this is who I am. And, the best leaders are the ones that do so through the hearts and the hearts of others. And you already take that into accountability. So it's about letting yourself have the grace and the confidence with it. And then last but not least, the seer, see beyond the current situation. I think this was a confirmation, and it literally looks like a marble, her looking into her crystal ball right now, a confirmation that, like, yes, that could have been from a person or a spirit, but like Crystal brought, to our attention, it was so much bigger and different. And another little message there. So you're really being taught, even though you're looking into that tiny marble and what it could be, to allow that to expand your perspective and to look even wider at what's going on in this crazy world. So thanks for being with us, Jen.
I love her. Ben said, when manifesting, be sure to not, oh Lord, Ben, you use too many abbreviations. NRG. Two things.
Do not give energy to things that you don't want. I got him.
There you go. See, Mandee, if we ever go on one of those talk shows where I need to like pick what he's going to say and what I'm going to say, I'm going to take you to be our moderator so you can tell them what we mean.
I got you.
You don't want, your brain does not know the don't and do, yes and no. If you give, I'm going to say your energy to those things you don't want, those things will manifest into your life, which is actually 100% accurate. Your brain does whatever your brain wants to do, and it takes it and rolls with it. Your brain is a beautiful, wonderful thing sometimes, but it's also an AI, and it decides to just take the reins and roll with our lives if we don't stop it. So that's the biggest part of this, is retraining your brain to stop that. So that's hard. That's so hard.
It's so hard.
Jennifer says to Sophia, happy early birthday to your little one. This girl of mine is an advocate and has been amazing, has an amazing throat chakra. Fun enough for her fifth birthday. I know that you asked for yourself. I think this fifth birthday is actually going to start to set your child up to really start to figure out who she is. Like right now, she's kind of in this stage where she's 5. I mean, she's young. She's 5. We can't ask anything of the kid yet. But I do think she's a pretty powerful person herself. And I do believe that she herself is an amazing healer, an amazing light. And she's probably made with a different cloth than a lot of the other people in the family, and also children within the family. And probably also a little bit more honest, I'm going to say, than some of the other people, because they're almost making me feel like she may come off like sandpaper sometimes to people, like a little abrasive. But my God, is she speaking from her soul? And so it's really cute how much she's been put into your life to teach you too. But it's also beautiful to see how much as a mom you embrace that and understand that our children are here to teach us. That's a gift that we can give so much. When I turned that over for Corey and looked at him like, oh shoot, he's my teacher. Like, yeah, mom, whatever. He doesn't belong to me. He's his own entity. But he was here to teach me, and they're making me feel like she essentially was here to help show you your power through a different set of eyes, because you've kind of lost that along the way. And so you're starting to see it, but this little girl at 5 years old is encompassing all of those things. And I think as she grows over the next 2 years, you're going to see what that means. And so please, it might get a little dicey at school sometimes. Teachers may look at her and be like, whoo, the words, she said what to this person? And yeah, maybe rein that back a little bit and make sure she's speaking of heart. But at the same time, let her feel empowered to speak her words too. So this is you relearning how to parent yourself through your child. And I think that's really, really cute, and it's beautiful, and it's a cool experience. So.
And also just pay attention to not only to her words, but her energy and the way her body reacts and responds to everything is super sensitive. And you can see a lot from that you feel within yourself, and it gives you validation. So it's all so divine. And like Crystal said, so for you right now, Sophia.
Susan says, I'm listening to the Untethered Soul. Mandee has brought that up before. It tells you how to stop the voice in your head and live in free peace. Once again, you can find these things everywhere. Thank you for sharing. I will probably stick that book also on our list of books, because I'm making this list for you guys. So all you can do is click on some of the things. And I know Mandee has mentioned that before. So.
Yeah, actually, I have not read it yet myself. However, I've had several clients and friends, one of my best friends actually, that it's really impacted recently, like this year. And so I've added it to my list, but I'm going ahead and giving it green flags because it's really helped a lot of people that I know and trust and love on my journey, on their journeys. So thank you for sharing that one with us. And we love all of these books and resources.
Ben gave Susan more advice, and then he says, got to get back to work. Love you, ladies. Great show. Love you, baby girl. So thank you
Aw.
for listening. Ben, you're not there anymore, but I love you. Sophia is sending Terry love. Ben, thanks so much. Yes, I do. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh, my things just moved. Sorry. And found it
Okay.
on an adventure. And crows and ravens. And then she was like, oh, thanks, Midge. Sorry, I'm not meaning to do that every single time. And then I do feel native feels. Kind of look into that and see what that means in more of a totem or a spirit guide type energy. Do you know how to journey? I'm curious, Jennifer. Do you know how to actually take a journey with your earth realm spirits? Do you know how to do that? Because I can like tell you how to do that. I did take shaman classes, but I hate saying it because I don't feel as though you can take a 3-part class and become a shaman. That ain't how I feel about life. But
So
I
you
did.
get chosen by spirit to be a shaman, and it comes through sacred initiation through a lot of trauma and drama, usually. And then you get to assist people in shifting, their perspectives in life and realizing that death is really a new beginning. And sometimes that's real, true death, and sometimes that's just death within our souls and our egos and, things like that. But shamanism is a real thing. Many of us are here to be death doulas and shamans of this new age and era. And so it's okay that you got curious about it and you took a class and all of that. And yes, we talk a lot about that. Like, just because you take a 2-hour online class doesn't mean you've integrated the work to be, truly qualified, like the way that the ancients, spent time integrating these things and truly embodying it and studying it. We've kind of lost that in our instant gratification society. However, many of these online classes and tools and certifications have incredible knowledge and resources, and they're so great to add to your tool belt as well. But it's about, like you were talking about, Crystal, integrating it as well.
It's really funny because spirit, I have like, and it's I think more of a moral. It's more of a moral standing. Like when I go into somebody's house or location and I'm doing an investigation and I see something there that's of cultural understanding, I try to really hard find the original tribe, team, whatever it is that was in the area there. I try to reach out to them first, and sometimes spirits just like you're not going to. And so they always show me how to help the process and move things through, and will help me work with some of the people from whatever it is, whatever culture or background. They will invite themselves in and be a part of it and show me step by step what it is that I'm supposed to do with the energy, with the healing, with the understanding, with the whatever to help move across whatever it is and bring healing. But at the same time, if I have the opportunity to contact somebody from that specific, I think that's incredibly important based on some of the things that have been experienced on a spiritual level. And I think that I feel like spirit deserves that they deserve that opportunity to sit with somebody who is understanding, really understanding of their situation and experience versus me who's coming into the experience. But spirit also, they're like, no, not a girl, like this is what it's got to be. And so that's when I utilize those things, and spirit always gives it to me the way it needs to be gotten. But at the same time, I do try to reach out. And it's sad because you can't find a lot of these tribes anymore. You can't find shamans within these tribes that will actually set forth, and there's not really anybody who does these things. And so if you're watching, or if you know somebody, or if anybody sees it in the future and you are a shaman that works with a specific tribe and have that actual whatever, contact me and I'll stick you on a list to call if I ever need somebody, because I do open the door to those things as well. I think it's highly important. And yes, you can be a shaman. Don't take me wrong. You can put the work in. I just didn't want to. I see spirit the way I see spirit, and it's just not worth it to me. Susan says, are you both in Michigan? Can I schedule a private reading? We're not, actually. Mandee is in New Jersey, and I am over here in California. So we are no longer, I was in Michigan, but I just recently moved, and Mandee's always been over there on the East Coast, living it up. And she's been a lot of other places too. You've been to Florida, I do believe Colorado. You've been a little bit everywhere. So that's one of those things we are not. You can, however,
you can totally schedule online with us.
Exactly. That's what I was
do
just
all
say.
of my sessions on Zoom. I will meet people in person every now and then, but I'm in New Jersey and I have clients all over the country and the world. Actually, I'm really grateful for that. But if you're listening to this, I offer 50% off all of my services on seagoddess.com/Mandee Elam. If you just go to the seagoddess.com page and scroll down, you will see my Book with Mandee page. And if you type in Mandee Live as a coupon code, you can get 50% off any of my services. So that's the best way to book with me. And then what about you, Crystal? How can people book with you right now?
You can find me on, well, to actually book with me a reading, you can go through Mitten Medium at yahoo.com, or you can go to my midmittenmedium.com, or you can just kind of hop on here. I don't necessarily do readings through here, but at the same time, you can find all my contact information. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Where are we at in our comments?
That's where we're at. I just commented that when Jennifer is talking about those. Look at those horns and the buck moon. Hee hee hee. I'm listening to universe. Thanks, girls. Love you guys. Thanks so much for telling me about my little one. She is full of love and is so strong. Thank you, Jennifer. Between us, I bounce myself. I
found myself bounce. A little while ago due to night towers. Found myself.
Okay. Thank you, Mandee. Again, I'm sorry.
I did open myself back up. I've had a lot of practice in this sort of thing. It's okay.
Hello, Christy. She is here. And then Jennifer also said, I had night terrors so bad that I was physical in my sleep. I feel like I was leaving. Oh, Lord. I feel like I was living to fight battles that weren't mine, but brought back physical pain and anguish. It's not letting me unclick off from that. I'm super sorry. And then she says, I've been chanting with my sound healing lately. It sounds very native and feels that way. So it's really kind of funny that you say that. When I first started opening up to spirit, I actually had chanting taking place around me. I could hear it outside of myself, and it was very strange. And I actually would call my dad and be like, hey, so this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm experiencing. Have you ever heard this? And they couldn't figure it out. And I tried to figure it out through other things, and I could not find it. But I heard that too. That was actually one of the first things that happened during my experience in waking up to spirit.
And your sound healing is everything. And each of our souls have amazing song to it and sounds and rhythms. And I haven't shared it much publicly yet, but I've been doing light language and tuning in with channeling and seeing what comes through. And I call it, Jennifer actually gave me this. This is a selenite with amazing feathers on it. And it's beautiful. I love it. But for me, I call it my native grandmothers come through and they sing to me and they rock me. And I've heard it my whole life. And then I'll find myself chanting it. And it feels incredible. It's like, oh, and it turns into this I hear the voices doing the the vibrations, and then I just hear all these tunes when I was just humming that it's so interesting. And I'll just allow it to rock me and meditate with it. Sometimes I'll sing along with it, sometimes I'll just let it be there. But all of our ancestors are there for us and want to be there for us. And there are these amazing consciousnesses of the Magdalens and Sophia's and divine feminine and the grandmothers and the elders. And so if you really do let yourself rock yourself and tune in, you'll start hearing it and you'll be able to sing along with it. Jennifer, I saw one through. Mine sounds that's awesome. Later, Jennifer's coming to the farmer's market. We're going to mess with it tonight, and maybe we'll even go live. I don't know, but I think we should do some chanting and see what the heck comes out.
So yeah, I also think it's really cool. I think it's really cool how you said that. And also, when I said, when we talk about our ancestors, you guys have to understand that, you haven't just been you, okay? Your ancestors don't exist just from the ancestors that you've lived and walked with in this life. You have every ancestor that's ever been a part of every life walking with you. And so if I were a male in the past life, I would have those ancestors. If I were, I don't know, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, I can't think of anybody at all right now. But if I were somebody super famous, Queen Victoria, those are my ancestors. You have to remember that you have been, walked, and experienced a multitude of different lives and a different set of standards in every single one of them. And so who the hell's to say that you don't have ancestors that would be more primal ancestors, or have ancestors that have more of a native background? You very well could. And they're going to be there for you too, because they're here for you and they're here for your higher self. And that higher self is a part of that collective consciousness of all. And so we take it all with us. And that's something that you have to remember too. It's
Uh-oh. Crystal's freezing on my side. Is anybody else noticing that?
It's like we stopped for a second, internet went crazy. I was like, yeah, but it's not necessarily just your ancestors here. And so, people may get offended by hearing that, but I can call on ancestors too. And when I call on them all. So just keep that in mind. If something's being called to you, or it feels like you're being drawn to something, there's a reason for it.
It's true. It is true. Follow it. Honor it. Let it sing to you. Let it rock you.
Also, I really like your headband. It is very pretty. It's very watercolory, and it looks absolutely stunning with your shirt. I forgot to tell you that. Like, you literally look like this beautiful, spring flower right now.
Hippie, like Sophia said. I love it. Thank you. My mom got it for me at the farmer's market around the corner from me like 3 years ago. I wear this thing all the time. It's like part of, it's like socks and underwear and like undershirts. It's like part of my weekly laundry. It's my favorite. I love it. I honor it. And it was so interesting because my middle name is Heather, which is a flower. My name is Mandee Elam, which means much love, flowering forever. And when I was little, I never wanted to garden with my mom. I didn't really I liked flowers, looking at them, but I wasn't really into it. And then all of a sudden, it was one of those divine timing things, kind of just unearthed in me when I was like 26 or so. I started to really love plants and flowers. And then when in my 30s, when I started to heal my body and connect with it, it was a whole nother thing. And so I love it. I love honoring and wearing the flowers now and letting it be like, yes, a purple Scottish flower is a heather, says Heather, and we need to pull a card for Heather too. And so it's really cool and I love it. And then it has that little bit of peach, and I just got this shirt recently. I was like, that's what I'm going to wear today. So thank you. And I loved Sophia's comment, because I do feel like a bougie hippie, because I work at these hippie fests a lot of the time. And I always feel like, am I a little overdressed? And then I'm like, but this is just who I am. And this is what I want to wear. This is how I feel good today. And I own it. So I just love all this, because you guys brought such joy to my heart. Jennifer's middle name is Rose. How beautiful. Heather's is Anne. Oh, I love it. Can I pull a couple cards for Heather while we're at it, Crystal?
Absolutely. I must have missed your comment. I'm sorry, Heather.
I feel like I saw it, but mine froze on my computer, and then I hopped on my phone, and I thought I saw that Heather asked for one. But either way, Heather, I hope it's okay, because I want to pull you one anyway. Little summer reading for Heather. Oh, I love this. Okay, you got the 8 of Pentacles also. Things are moving in the right direction for you financially. You've got choices of what you want to do, and you're creating more stability more stability in your life right now based on the choices really that you've made. And like, you've been working really hard and you feel really tired right now. There's been a lot of new things happening. And it's really important to let yourself make those decisions and trust that the abundance is continuing to build. Then moving into August, you get the King of Cups. It's really a nice time to spend time in your love, in your relationship, letting things be how they should be, letting yourself receive as much as possible. Cups are all about love. The King of Cups is really finding that divine masculine within ourselves and then within a relationship, and finding those balance and feeling like, we're feeling supported and loved and cared for and open to receiving it. And then last but not least, you get the Queen of Swords in September. Anything that comes your way, you just are like, you know what? I can handle this. I've been through enough. Part of my heart has softened. Part of my heart has hardened. And I'm ready for whatever comes my way. And things that once bothered you, don't. You handle any external things that are creating friction with ease and with grace and with power. So just know that things are really on the rebound for you. Lots of love and abundance and firm boundaries. So be proud of yourself, Heather. And then I'm also just wanting to pull Heather an angel card. Take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing that you're here. part of that Eight of Pentacles and all of that extra hard work right now, professionally, personally, all around, there's just been a lot of work. Really important to reconnect with your breath as much as possible this summer. Find yourself taking moments to breathe, to say, thank you for allowing me to be here, to drop into present moments. I think I saw on Facebook, you have a cute new puppy, like anytime you can jump in and just be present there. Animals are a great tool for presence and just being. I just look at mine and pet them and I'm like, I can't believe I have a magnificent animal laying next to me that I get to cuddle with and watch breathe. And she lets me be near her. You can get really fucking weird with it. So whatever you want, go for it. But you have a wonderful summer, much lighter. You've been through a lot and it's your chance to finally, if you can, get to the beach, get to the lake, let yourself relax, sister. You deserve it. It's time.
I saw a super inspirational post. I do want to say inspirational that Heather shared the other day about people who tell her that she should take grief counseling or see a grief specialist. And she's like, well, I don't really feel like I need that because yes, I've had a lot of losses, but I also firmly believe that they're in a better place. And she just made this beautiful post. And I was like, God, that is such an amazing perspective because Heather, if you're new or don't know this or just whatever, she has lost so many people over the past 5 years of her life. It has been pretty traumatic for her, and she has handled it with such grace and such love, not only for her loved ones, but also for herself. And I hope that if ever I'm in that situation and scenario, I'm a medium and I talk to people on a daily, but I got to tell you, when you lose somebody that you love, it's different. And so I hope that I can handle it with that knowledge and understanding the way that she has. That was a beautiful, beautiful post. And your reply back to people was with boundaries, understanding, empathy, but also I know what I need with myself. And I just was like, holy hell, girl, that was gracious as all get out. I loved it so much. So yeah, Heather, you're doing all the things that the cards are saying, and I'm seeing it. And I look up to you as an inspiration too, because that was quite the post. And I don't know that I would be there if that was my experience of life. So please just know that's awesome. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And we have Tiffany here. She says, hello, newbie. Can you tell me about my finances? So I'm going to tell you, I never do those, but Mandee can pull some cards because her people will probably talk about finances.
Angels, do you have anything for, her name was Erin, right? Oh, Tiffany. Tiffany about her finances. So this is also a teaching moment. When you're using cards and you're working with others, I like to knock the energy out of whoever I used before. That way it's just clean and fresh and we have clean lines coming in. So it's Tarot Tuesday and we've been teaching about tarot classes or about tarot cards. So for Tiffany. Okay, I can. So what they're showing first, this is a little hard. It's the Five of Cups, some heartache. There could be a transition going on in relationships within yourself. This could be with a romantic partner. This could be with a job. This could be with lots of different things coming in. And just know that it's okay to let things be as they are right now because things are happening for the highest good of everyone. And then what they're showing is as you move into summer here, you get the King of Wands, which is really taking your power back and deciding exactly what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it in terms of decisions for yourself. And you haven't always been able to make those for yourself, and now you get to. And so it's really important to do that, especially with finances. Finances are masculine energy, and we have to call that in and make decisions. Wands are within. Then you get, by the end of the summer, the Four of Cups or the Four of Pentacles, which is often holding on to your belongings, reevaluating if you want to move, if you want to go somewhere different, how you want to invest things at this time. They're showing that you're building. So it's important to save and then attract whatever kind of abundance it is that you're calling in at this time, because it's important to do things that are in alignment while you're receiving abundance. And so there's a lot of transitioning happening for you with your finances at this time, but they want you to know that you are safe and you are held, and it is all working out for your highest good, even though it could be hard. And then we've got Spirit Animal. Thank you, Animal Kingdom, for blessing my path with love. And there we were talking about ravens and crows earlier. There's an amazing eagle and probably a raven feather or black feather up in there. And what they're showing too, just like we were talking about, you actually do have a big animal connection, and you do have a spirit animal that's coming in and connecting with you and giving you signs, particularly when it comes to financial decisions. And you might, be like, should I invest in this? Should I, save this money? Should I quit this job? And then all of a sudden you see this black bird fly right by, and that's your cue. Okay, this was the decision that I need to make right now for my highest good and what's going to serve me at this time. So I hope that supports you a little, Tiffany. They're saying make good decisions based on what you need most. Don't be afraid to reevaluate and hold on to your finances, and then decide where it's best to put them at this time. I wish it, showed you were winning the lottery or something right now, but it doesn't. It shows that you are safe and protected, and this is happening for you, though it may be uncomfortable at times. So I hope that's...
Yeah, like Spirit's kind of showing me that there's like a lull right now. And I feel like that lull is expanding more so than what she wants it to expand. And that's becoming a little bit like, what am I going to do? Because this is what I need. We all need money because the earth works off from, monetary, whatever. And so we do need to pay bills. We do need to do these things. And they are really making me feel like she's kind of in restraints right now when it comes to her funds and what's coming back into her. So the energy isn't necessarily matching whatever energy she's putting out into a situation. And yeah, I think that you are 100% spot on. Those cards are 100% spot on. Your angels, everybody is, in the sense that like it's going to get better, but they're really making me feel like right now it's causing her to almost reformulate how she goes about whatever is causing the money shift to take place to begin with. Especially if it's like a small business, how you run your business, how you want to do your household, how you want to do the finances. It's literally restructuring based on what's best for you instead of everybody else around you, and understanding that money really at the end of the day is an energy. It's literally just a freaking energy. And so if somebody can't meet you with the right energy, that's where money comes in. And so it's just, you got to learn how to see it in a different way. I think you do. I don't think that you're somebody who sees it in a negative, ugly way. I think you actually are, to the contrary, somebody who has raised your vibration regarding money and what it means and kind of how it comes in. But it also is a little bit scary when it feels like we're kind of sitting here on this empty nest going, groceries and rent. Groceries and rent, because human is still a part of our experience. And so you're doing a really good job. Keep focusing on, and then take those proper steps. And they're almost making me feel, I don't remember when Mandee said, but they are making me feel like it's going to be about 3 or 4 months before we really start to kind of see some transitioning take place. And that where you start to slowly rebuild back what it is. But also make sure that you put forth the focus and the changes that you're being led in your gut to make regarding those situations. Because I think that it's probably hard for you. I'm going to give this way. My guides are like, giving me a way to say this. Like with a lot of channelers, we feel really bad sometimes charging people because it's like, okay, society says that we should do this for free. Okay, yeah, but tell that to my bills, man. Tell that to my bills. I would love to do everything for free on earth, but I still have things that I have to provide for my family as well. And so, nobody goes to work for free. Nobody shows up for free. Everybody wants to get paid at the end of the day. So unless you're going to go to your job for free and put in 8 hours, then don't expect me to do the same. And so whatever it is that you're shifting in, yes, people are probably going to have a perspective of what that's supposed to look like. However, your guides over here are tough loving the crap out of the situation. Like they don't give 2 iotas what other people think the situation should look like. And your heart is pure. Your heart is pure. You know where you are. You know where you stand, and you know what you want and why you want what you want. And so just hold those things within your soul and understand they're working for you too. It's been a long time standing, though. I'm not going to lie. They're making me feel like you've been a little dry for a while. It's very right now. So yeah, I feel like the anxiety is a little bit warranted, but just don't let it tip down, and because it'll throw off the whole vibration of what your movement is.
I love it. Sophia, can I read that comment?
Yes, you can.
Sophia just said, I've started incorporating money rituals into my home routine. I blow cinnamon into my home on the 1st, and I have made money bowls and burned green candles with abundance intentions. It's helped me cultivate a relationship with money as an energy. It's woo-woo, but yeah. Yeah, girl. I love witchy magic. And because what it does is it's intentional, and you sit down and you set an intention and you really truly pray and you align and you attract it. And when we have that candle burning, we're like, I know money's coming my way because I lit that and it reminds me, and here it comes. And my mom does money candles a lot. I think on Thursdays I think it's Thursdays, Tuesdays or Thursdays, one of the 2 days. I think Thursdays. And I'll go by her room and there's always like a candle, a green candle burning for abundance. And it really works. And it's amazing what can happen with that. So we're just sending you a lot of love, Tiffany. Be brave with your decisions, even if you're going through heartache. And that's part of the reason you got to make some of these decisions, because it's all going to serve you and it will be worth it.
I love that.
An Excel budget sheet. Fuck yeah. I love that.
I love that. That's so cute. I had an awful relationship with money, one that I created. I'm changing the outlook and it works. See, I came from a family system where both sides of my family system like look down on people who have money. You know, if you have money, then you're one of the greedy ones. You're one of these ones. And so it did build a very ugly relationship with money, and my perspective was in money. And it is funny because like through my journey, I'm just kind of like, you know, why hate on somebody who's worked to get money, whether it's been dirty work or not? It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to hate on somebody else for having something that is literally just an energy of whatever it is that they put out there. And so if they put out some ugly stuff to get that given back, well, they did a good job putting out the ugly stuff. Either way, it's kind of impressive if you look at it. So it's just an energy. If you want to create it, you have to create the right energy to receive it. And so there's no reason to look down on money or what it represents in our life. And I think a lot of us have those weird, swayed, grown up family systems that have either come from, you know, a lack of wealth or a lack of this or a lack of this. And they put those lacks on us because they don't want us to want or think we need something that we might not ever receive because they haven't received.
Yeah, it's an attachment style and a programming. And Sophia made a brilliant comment and she said, scarcity mindset is the worst, our programming. Mm-hmm. Money is endless. There's enough for everyone. And it's so true. It is so true. But we are modern day slaves, if you will. And we're taught to think that it's not. And we're taught to, you know, be afraid of it. And we were raised by World War I and II generations who went through serious depressions and, you know, and it's controversial. We'll get into all that another time of how that all was created or not created. Either way, it left these attachments, it left these imprints on us and this programming within us. And this is something, even I feel like a baby. I'm 36, but I'm figuring it all out and I'm building, you know, my first real business. And I trust that there's so much abundance coming. And even like, you know, on the days like where I don't, that's where I count all the extra abundance. I'm like, well, you know what? I got a bag of apples in my fridge right now. And I've got, you know, sunshine outside and I can go for a walk around the block at this time or whatever it is. And when you get yourself back to focusing on the abundance and the gratitude, more of it really does come. So be patient with yourselves. It's not easy. We were programmed against it and we're all working on healing that right now.
Absolutely. Jennifer, I only knew financial struggle and I was angry that people were greedy, etc. over a damn tree. It's paper. When I realized it was an energy exchange, I snapped out of it. Shedding the bad relationship with money, like my ego left my ass off. And it's funny because like I don't generally, Tiffany, I'm going to tell you like it's super cute because I never generally am able to talk about certain things because Spirit's like, okay, if we can't get to the root of what the cause is, then we're not going to talk about it. And so cards sometimes, Mandee's angels, they like to give the whole thing through the perspective of wherever that person stands. My guides are kind of like sometimes to the point. They gave it to you, which means you're open to receiving, and it means you've already done the work and you understand all of this. So thank you for giving me the perspective to share without feeling like I had to hold back at all, because you already know and you've already done the work and you're just kind of in the wall of what it's taking to create that next step. So you're doing it and you're awesome. Sophia says that mindset shift was like, ooh, okay, now I get it. Jennifer says she loves us all. She has, I have to get to my 4 besties, settle, then I'm headed to the farmer's market in AC. Such a great show. Sending lots of love. I'll see you guys soon. Happy full moon energy to you, Jennifer. I hope you guys have a great day and have a happy farmer's market. What is the farmer's market? For anybody who may be in the New Jersey, is it New Jersey today that's going to be going on? Okay.
Yeah,
whoever is in the area, what is that?
Yeah, perfect segue because I got a boogie to go to the farmer's market too. So, Sea Goddess Healing Arts, we are based in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and we're hosting 4 farmers markets this summer at the Absecon Lighthouse, which is the Atlantic City Lighthouse. It's Atlantic City, but it's Absecon Island. So it's the Absecon Lighthouse because it's on Absecon Bay. So it's right in the city, right next to like where the Ocean Casino is and Hard Rock, and it's in the north part of the city. And we've got over 20 vendors coming. We're going to be doing a drum circle and free yoga from the leadership studio. And it's an opportunity for people to come to connect with local vendors and creators who, some of them are selling food and produce, some of them are selling arts and crafts. I'll be doing readings tonight at a discounted rate. And Jennifer will be selling her art. We'll have a Sea Goddess tent there. And it's just going to be really lovely. We'll probably do some live. So if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, I'm sure you'll get a little sneak peek into it. And we're just really excited. It's important for us. We love farmers markets. It's Atlantic City is a food desert. There's almost no grocery stores there. And if there are, they're just little convenience stores. And there's no fresh produce in Atlantic City for the most part, like very little. So it's really important that we bring farmers markets aspects into the city, and it's exciting. So we did one last summer, and this summer we're doing 4 of them. And tonight is the first of the 4 in our 2022 series. And we're excited and we're honored, and it's going to be great. So give us a like, a share, a follow on Sea Goddess Healing Arts. And that's also how you can book a session with me. And if you've made it this far, I offer 50% off for Mandee Live is my coupon code on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. When you book with me, all of my sessions, if you type in Mandee Live, are 50% off for holding the space with us. So thanks for being here on this live. So I hope that answers questions a little bit about the farmers market.
I didn't realize all of that about Atlantic City. That's huge. Like, that's huge. And that's also kind of like opening the door to really bringing healing to the entire island, city, whatever it would be considered. But it's really kind of huge, actually, if you think about it, because a lot of people don't have that. And so you bring it to it and see how many people will come. And I'm sure I feel like that's one of those beautiful places that would be fun to have, like corner parks or whatever, where you actually plant and cultivate. That would be a good place to do that and help teach people how to grow their own food, because there's a lot of places that unfortunately just haven't had those opportunities. And it's not because they don't want them. It's not because people aren't great at it. It's because they haven't had the opportunities. And I didn't know that they didn't have, like, that's really sad that we have to go to so many stores around here too. Like, I actually understand what you're saying. I've never had to go to 6 different stores for what I'm looking for. And they have grocery stores. I have one that's a block away. And they have great, amazing, actually, California is a really good place for all produce. But at the same time, it's like there's weird stuff in weird places. So yeah, what a weird experience to not be able to just like go to your regular store and get certain things like that a lot of us take advantage, like, for granted. I know I do.
And it's hard because it's a city, but it's been through a lot. And because of the casinos, so many of the casino employees work in it, are from Atlantic City and live in Atlantic City and the surrounding areas. And it's like, there was a lot of crime back in the day. There were grocery stores that got robbed, things like that. I think that contributes it to being a food desert. But now the city is really shifting, and there's a lot of amazing people there who deserve to have access. Everybody deserves to have access to nutrition. And so there's an amazing group, Crops, that we work with that puts on farmers markets in the area as well. And people are really focused and want to bring it to back to the city. And it's really exciting to be a part of watching the city rebuild itself and watching the people show up and watching what the people are requesting. We also, Sea Goddess, we just taught our first summer camp. The multicultural department of the city of Atlantic City hired us to teach yoga for a summer camp program. And we just did that yesterday with the Mahogany Health Queen, Elisa Pratt. It was absolutely incredible. So we'll be posting some pictures about that. But there's just such an incredible community that wants to honor the original vision of Absecon Island being a healing seashore community. So it's nice to be a part of it. It's the least we can do. And we're so excited to see how it goes tonight and over the next few weeks. And farmers markets take a little while to build, but it's exciting that we're starting it.
Also, on top of that, I mean, like she's already said it, but if you're following Sea Goddess Healing Arts, you can also go to their website and you can see all of their events that they have scheduled, because they have several things that are scheduled over the next coming months into the fall. So if you are available to do that, it would be good to get on their website and kind of check some of those things out. Um, Sophia says, great work for Mama Earth. That's Mandee's whole thing. I think I feel like she is Mama Earth. I just feel like she's in a body in this time frame. So she just is love. But
I love
giving
her.
it back. So Mandee, you do have to get going because you have a farmer's market to go to. So once again, how do people contact you? I know you just said that. Do you have anything else to say regarding that? Are you good?
I love you all. Grateful for your support. Thanks for tuning in with us. Give us a like, a share, a follow on Sea Goddess Healing Arts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Crystal is one of our Sea Goddesses and our medium now. She's going to be getting a banner on Sea Goddess soon, which is exciting, which will connect to her website, which is what?
Midmittenmedium.com.
Boom. That's how you get a hold of us. We love you all so much. Thanks for hopping around on different, girls trip. I love it. That's so awesome. Heather said, all of us who don't live in New Jersey need to make a field trip. We are having a festival called The Last Splash, September 17th. That's going to be a mermaid and pirate festival at the Lighthouse to raise awareness for the ocean, basically, and it's a fundraiser for the Lighthouse and the Marine Mammal Stranding Center. So there's that coming up, and then there are going to be lots of retreats and other things in the future, and we definitely will all need to get together in the flesh at some point.
Only thing I'm going to say before we hang up this is, if you cannot come to our daily things that we have during the day and you're catching this, go ahead and leave comments or whatever and say, hey, I need a card read, or I want you to pull a card. If you have a specific issue or a specific problem, you can say, hey, can you please pull a card for this? And we will get you a card pulled on the next Monday Live that we end up doing. And we'll make sure that we let you know that is. So just pay attention and subscribe to the stuff so you see them. If for some reason you're catching this after the fact and you do want cards pulled, Mandee is going to pull those cards for you. All you have to do is comment, okay? I hope you have a great day, Miss Mandee. I hope all of you have a good turnout. And I'm so super blessed to be a part of this. Thank you guys for showing up for us. And I hope you all have a beautiful week. Sit in the moonlight. Get your rocks out, get your crystals out, make sure you make your moon water, do whatever you need to do, bring in your abundance, make your manifestations, and give it to God or whoever you believe in. Have a great day, guys.
Love you, Crystal. Love all of you. Thank you. Bye.